really know much about pop culture. I mean, I know the big names and things because they're kind of unavoidable, but like half a step away from Rihanna and I got nothing. And I don't even really know what Rihanna's been doing since Umbrella. I recently communicated with a group of new people, and they were all like, oh my god, Larry is like my OTP. I don't really know what that means. One Direction. That's a band, right? I had to Google that so I could reference it in the video. I would maybe attribute this to my age, this unawareness of pop culture, but the truth is I've always been that way. Even when I was really young, I didn't really know what was in outside of like a few things that I liked. I guess there's a number of factors that goes into this. For one, I'm just kind of obsessive. I tend to like one thing for a long time, then move on to something else and like that for a long time. I will happily listen to the same band every day for months. I'll watch a couple of TV shows but have no idea what else is on. I watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't really watch like a lot of YouTube. I think a lot of people who consume original content on YouTube watch a lot of different creators, whereas I will generally stick to a few channels. And I do venture out sometimes, but I will often prefer to rewatch the same video that I've already seen 30 times than watch something new, because the video that I already know and like is safer, whereas something new could end up being upsetting or offensive or something. I guess I don't really have a lot of safe zones in life, so I create these safe bubbles for myself in entertainment. And sometimes when I watch a whole bunch of new content on YouTube, YouTube will start suggesting me things. Like my suggested feed will fill up with all these new people and I kind of get uncomfortable. I'm like, no, I don't want all this new and exciting stuff. I want to go back to my bubble. And I guess another thing is just that I'm generally quite isolated. I think a lot of awareness of pop culture comes from communicating with your peers. They might introduce you to something that you otherwise wouldn't have discovered. You like A? Did you know there's also B? Check out B. B is awesome. Oh wow, B is great. I love B. By the way, there's also C. C is amazing. Not sure about the C. I don't think I like it that much, but I'm aware of it now. If you don't communicate with your peers, then your awareness of pop culture is inherently going to be limited to what you discover yourself, which might not be all that much. I don't really talk to people in real life at all much, and even online, I don't really put myself out there as much as I maybe should. I don't really participate in fandoms and communities a whole lot. I've tried a few times, and it didn't really go all that well for me. I mean, fandoms can be pretty scary. C is so much better than B. Oh please, there's nothing in the world better than B.
Oh, you beehive are so annoying. You think you're better than everyone else. Does it occur to you that there are things in the world other than that no one understands?
And another thing is, I don't have all that much money, so I can only go to the movies like once or twice a year. So when everyone is discussing the movie that's currently in theaters, I can't even participate in that discussion because I can't afford to go see the movie. With music, there's like Spotify, although it's blocked here. It's one of the reasons I spend so much time on YouTube, because you can pay the creators without actually having any money. I was really into comic books for a while, but that interest pretty much died because I couldn't buy any comic books. And a lot of stuff is actually geo-blocked here, so it can be hard to access what you actually want to see, because sometimes you even have money and you're like, please take my money, and they're like, no, this content is unavailable in your country. It's available in my country, just not available here. And consuming pop culture locally means that I have to consume it in translation. everything here is dubbed, not subtitled, but fully dubbed. I mean, I don't know how many people can relate to this. If you live in a country where everything is dubbed, are you okay with the dubs? Do you enjoy them? Because I feel like sometimes when you know the language of the original, it can be frustrating to have to watch a dub instead. Like, if you don't know the language of the original, it might be fine because you're kind of stuck with some kind of translation. But if you know the language of the original, especially if it's your native language, but you're forced to watch a foreign dub, that's kind of off-putting. That's one of the reasons I don't really go to the movies here a whole lot, even when I can afford it, because I don't really want to watch a movie that was originally in English in a foreign dub. And I guess the final nail in this pop cultural unawareness coffin is that a lot of my interests are not very contemporary or cool. I like a lot of older music. I like movie scores. I mean, that's a valid interest, but it's not quite as pop culturally immersive as, K-pop. I don't think all that many people go on Twitter to gush about Danny Elfman's latest work. Maybe some people do, but probably not quite as much as with, like, BTS. So I guess I'm just not cool. And that's fine. We don't all have to be cool. If you're also uncool, come talk to me. I kind of need friends. If you want to feel less uncool, then just think of me. The person who listened to Black Sabbath in middle school in the 90s and who often sounds like a college essay but with swearing. If it makes you feel better about yourself, I'm all for that. I like being useful. Oh my god, Larry is like my OTP. What the hell is that voice supposed to be? It's like that guy from Queer Eye, the groomer. See? I know Queer Eye. I'm hip and down with the... I need to delete myself.